Hey everyone, it's me, Donna. Okay, in the past, I have made videos where I talk about some ideas that I have for maybe sweepstakes type stuff that maybe social media companies like YouTube could do. Um, and over the years, I get to thinking more and more about it and all this stuff. And so right now, this is what I have recently come up with. Um, and okay, on your regular homepage, you've got your search bar at the top, and then you've got these other categories like all live music, whatever. And then right now, currently, they'll just have like a video from a product sponsor or whatever before it shows other videos on the feed of your page. Okay. Well, I have an idea that would right here where they normally would have the commercial spot, or maybe even like down below it or something, because I know they probably want to keep that commercial spot because they're being paid by a sponsor for that. But maybe maybe just below it or something. Okay, they could have some new categories that like stand out, that will grab your attention to where I think it would be beneficial for YouTube and Google and all that. It might even employ new people. It might, start off something pretty good, I think. And okay, let's start off with a category called sweeps videos. Okay, I think this would be something wonderful, because that way a lot of these product companies and everything, they could make videos about sweepstakes that they have. Okay, and they could feature them on YouTube. Okay, in this on this page, like when you click this right here, it will take you to a page, and it will have a whole bunch of series of commercials based on whatever product. Like they could have different product things that you can choose from food to jewelry to whatever. Okay, I think this would be so cool, because this would give, bring all these product companies kind of together on a platform, and they could make these videos that, showcases the product that they're wanting to showcase, and also telling you where you can go to enter the sweepstakes. Like they can have, whether it be on social media, maybe they have an Instagram uh, thing running, or even a YouTube thing, or even just uh, a spot on their main website itself, sweepstakes area that you can go and click on and enter the sweepstakes. I think this would help in a lot of ways, because I think it would really showcase, a product that a company is wanting to do. Um, I just feel like this would be a pretty good, thing. Instead of you having to look all over the internet and everywhere else just to enter a sweepstakes, if you can just go to YouTube and click on this area and make it to, you know, and see what all's available, I think that would make it a lot easier. I mean, I know there's sweepstakes groups out there and pages and all that stuff, but I just think that this would be a lot better. I think it could be, some people can make some money. Like YouTube could make money off this, and like I said, it will, um, might help a company to actually sell more product and everything. So I just think this would be a really good thing for that. Okay. All right. Then YouTube could have a thing for funny commercials. Like they could really, get in contact with these product companies and everything, and they can come out with, funny, real funny commercials and stuff that will get your attention and all that stuff, and have like a category for all that. I think that would be, pretty interesting. Um, and also, there could be an area for retro commercials. Um, that that would highlight all the old commercials, except do it more in a more professional manner. They could get up with these product companies and they could go back into their vaults or whatever, and they could pull out all these old commercials, or they could get permission, like, wherever it is that they find these commercials, there can be, permission granted for YouTube to officially be able to showcase these old commercials and stuff. And it might even help these product companies that might be selling these products still to this day. So I think it'd be a win-win. And plus, I enjoy those old commercials from the 70s and 80s and 90s and all that. And I enjoy finding that on YouTube. And it would just be cool to have a spot where, it's official and you can find all kinds of old retro commercials and stuff. Okay. And also, I think that YouTube could showcase its own different series that it might have. It can, which I'm sure, they already do this to some extent, but it would be neat to have just like a page right on the main page where you could click on it, and YouTube themselves can sponsor, different programming, whether it be movies or just TV, like comedy TV shows, or documentaries or whatever. They can have their own thing, kind of like Netflix and stuff like that. Um, they can have that and have it right here on, uh, in this area. That might bring more interest for that, and who knows what this could really bring out. Okay. All right. And then also, they can have a thing where they can work out deals with some of the major networks, where they can allow YouTube to show their programming as well, like the different series that they have. Maybe even companies like Netflix or Disney or whatever, they can say, hey, okay, we can work this deal out to where we will only showcase this series on your platform, or we'll showcase so many seasons of this particular movie, or, well, not movie, but TV show, and after so many seasons, then we will allow you to also broadcast it and stuff like that, maybe for free or whatever. And of course, the ads will help pay for stuff like that. So it would probably be a good idea to not make it ad free. Just, that way maybe you won't have to pay, like a lot of things, you have to pay like $3.99 or $2.99 or $10.99 or whatever, just to be able to see a particular show, or an episode, or a series or whatever. Well, this would, if they showcase ads and stuff, everybody that needs to make money makes money, and you get to watch it for free. Okay. So that would be pretty cool. Okay, also, they could have a thing for top music videos, whether it be country, pop, R&B, jazz, you name it. All, I think since, MTV went kaput, and I don't know if anybody else has noticed, there's no real interest in, top 10 or top 20 or whatever anymore. Like, we used to have Casey Kasem. We used to have all these really cool shows that would let us know what the top 10 artists were and things like that. Well, what if YouTube could kind of take that on a little bit and have like a little bit of programming to where they showcase like the top, music videos and stuff like that. I think that would kind of bring back a little bit more interest in artists and music and that type of thing, to where a lot of people will have some kind of clue as to who else is coming up, instead of just Nicki Minaj, or just the main ones. Because I don't know, unless I've seen somebody, 10,000 times on YouTube, or on social media, or in the news. I don't even know. Like back in the 80s and stuff, 80s and 90s, I used to know several artists, whether it be in the metal or pop or whatever. Most people, regardless of what music you were into, you kind of knew who the top people were, even in country and all that. Like everybody knew who was who, because we had, radio, and we had, MTV, we had, just other things that would let people know, okay, these are the top artists that are moving up through the charts and all that stuff. We knew. So what if YouTube, did the thing based on how many watches videos had? They could let people know, okay, this video has had 2 million views or whatever. And they could even, expand it and say, okay, well, this is the radio top hits, and then like play their video or whatever. And also do a thing like based on sales and that type of thing. There could be a few different things that could be done with this that I think would be good. I think that would help a lot of artists, and it would help YouTube, and the viewer. And that way we kind of know, okay, who are the top people besides just 4 or 5 that you can name offhand. Because I feel like I'm out of sorts now with who's who, and I don't want to, you don't really want it to just be 3 or 4 people that that are famous. Like there's a lot of famous people out there that I don't even know, because I don't either watch their TV show, I don't watch their music or hear it or whatever, and I don't know. And I haven't been told that they're the top artists coming up. So and it's sad. It just, you just feel like you're in a different world today. Well, this can kind of help people out a little bit with that, I think. All right. And then also there could be, because everybody's talking about this hype thing, which I don't know for sure how all that works or whatever. But, there's supposed to be a feature on people's videos where you can hype it up and all that stuff. Well, instead of it just being some kind of obscure hype hashtag thing out there, page or whatever, what if they just had like a thing right here to where it would just, you click on this and it would show you all the hyped up videos that were either all together, and then maybe in different categories, like the top hype family videos, the top 10 hype whatever. They could have a thing for that. That would be kind of cool. Okay, and then also an area for like free retro movies, like all these old movies, anywhere from the 90s, maybe even early 2000s on back. It would be neat, like if YouTube could have them and just have all this in this area right here, to where people can go and watch it, and you can watch it from from whatever year that it came out in whatever category, whether it's a western or drama or whatever. Have a thing for that. That would be kind of cool to just have that on your homepage. Also an area like a voting booth. Like if YouTube wants to get information about how you feel about certain things, as well as other companies, other product companies, all this stuff. And this is where maybe even a few sweepstakes could come in to play, where you can go and vote of what your favorite, whatever it is. Even favorite video or favorite whatever it is that YouTube and maybe partnering companies can come up with or think of or whatever, they could put it in this area, and you can go and have fun just looking through different things that you might want to vote on, whether it's your favorite peanut butter or your candy bar or whatever. That would be kind of neat to just have that area where people can go and do that. Okay. All right, and then I thought of this thing called the void. Okay, and that is where you can maybe go and they could create like some little silly little online video games, maybe some short video games, or just whatever. Just maybe even show a spot where you can click on it and it will show just random YouTube videos, maybe even old videos from different channels that are not maybe not popular or whatever. There could be like a spot where you can just click on it and it just spins and it just shows just random YouTube videos, like just from the beginning of YouTube through now, like just any random video, like the randomator or whatever they want to call it. It'd be like a little thing where you just click it, kind of like a little game or whatever. You just click the little button and it will roll and spin and then just pop out a random video. That would be kind of silly and funny. But there could be like different things that I'm not even thinking of that could be put in the void. And then maybe if you see somebody's random video, if you might can comment, "Hey, I just saw your video in the void," or something like that. And they'll know what you're talking about. That would be kind of cool. So, I mean, who knows what could be done with this particular category, that is even beyond my understanding. But it would just be neat to have something like that. Because, I kind of think of these weird shows and stuff, these science fiction shows, and I don't know, it just makes me think of something like that. Just having that little weird area that you can go to, and you never know what might be there that you could have fun with. So anyway, so this is kind of what's rolling through my head right now, and I just think that these might be some good suggestions if YouTube is listening, that maybe they could think about putting into play. I just think this could be a way to create jobs. It could create revenue for different people, and it could just be fun for the viewer. So anyway, but you guys can tell me what you think in the comments and everything, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.